I think this is my nightmare January window. Like, genuinely, I think this January window couldn't have gone worse for me as a Spurs fan. Like, this is shocking. I genuinely believe that. Spurs want to sign Andy Robertson. I think initially it said on a free agent, but I think now they're trying to accelerate that to come in January. Um, Caveats: Andy Robertson has been great in his career. He's won everything. He's been a brilliant fullback in the Premier League, and he's still an okay player. Like, he's a decent player. He's a decent Premier League fullback still now. Will he have a little bit of an impact at Spurs? Probably. He's left-footed. He's decent. He's got good leadership, good mentality, all those things. Good around the dressing room. Blah blah blah. I think these kind of signings is how we quickly become West Ham. And I'm not saying that lightly. I genuinely believe this is how you become West Ham. When you really acknowledge that gap between you and the top teams, when you kind of become part of that food chain to be like, rather than aiming to catch up to those teams, you're like, we will take those players who are nowhere near good enough for you anymore. We will take them. That is just off the bat accepting mediocrity. And I'm not someone that has been banging this drum like, we need to stop accepting mediocrity, but this is that. This is a sideways move. Like, this isn't going to be the most coherent video, most planned out video with my normal analysis and stuff. I want to just speak on it. Why don't I like this signing? Physically, Robertson's declining by the week. Robertson was a player who I don't think has ever been great technically. What he was so elite at his peak was the energy, the fitness, the aggression, the intensity of his play carried that average technical level. I think the one thing that he had in his technical level bag was his crossing ability. Very good crosser of the ball. Apart from that, I think a lot of his game was about grit, determination, intensity, endurance, all that kind of thing, which was synonymous with a Klopp team, and I think he was unbelievable under that Klopp team. However, when you start declining physically, those attributes are no longer possible, especially for 90 minutes. You can't keep up those intense levels. And I think because Robertson put so much into those games under Klopp, those levels couldn't be kept up. They couldn't be kept up. And so he started to decline naturally. So in terms of him as a player, that is what I don't like about this signing. I don't think he's got the required attributes to be to come in and make a massive impact on Spurs. I don't think he's there, and not only is he not there now, he's only going to get worse. I think his decline has come pretty rapidly. I don't think he's been great for a couple of years now. Also, Spurs, I've been saying it for maybe 2 or 3 years, Spurs have a technical level issue at the club. We are one of the worst technical level teams in the league. Not just in the top 6, we are one of the worst technical level teams in the league. We lack technical ability all over the park. Basics, players can't play out of pressure. Players' first touches are not great. Players struggle with the easy things that most Premier League footballers should be able to do. I think our technical level is really, really poor. I think selling Johnson was a step in the right direction to try to increase the technical level across the team. Not that we've brought in a technical winger to cover that, but that's another point. So again, Robertson, Gallagher. Robertson, I think, is actually quite poor technically. I think he struggles with a lot of basic technical things. I think playing out of pressure, he's really going to struggle. Any team that wants to control games, he's going to struggle. Not that Frank wants to do that, but whoever we kind of employ long term. That's an issue. Gallagher is decent technically, but not outstanding. Gallagher I've spoke about before. So him as a player, that is what I don't like about this signing. I think he's a wonderful crosser. So if you can get him in crossing positions, great. Does he have the physicality and the kind of acceleration and speed to get that separation, to get those crosses off? So work a yard and get those crosses off? Don't know. Don't think he does consistently anyway. This fits Frank's ethos of wanting lots of crosses. He fits that. Can he get up and down to be able to do that? I'm not sure. But my main issue with this signing is on a bigger level. It's on a more macro level, I guess, if you want to call it that. Okay, there's been a few like positive sentiments around this signing. I hate it. I really hate this signing. Some people are kind of explaining it. So the first thing people have said is he's a Ben Davies replacement. So Ben Davies upgrade. Okay, take that into account. We've all been saying for years, why is Ben Davies still at the club? How have we not upgraded on Ben Davies yet? So when this opportunity comes, where Ben Davies is now probably, his time at Spurs is probably over, instead of upgrading on Ben Davies, we've just signed pretty much a side-by-side player. Someone that is probably of a similar level, maybe slightly better than Davies, but not massively better. When this opportunity came where there's a squad slot for a new left-back, Udogi's fitness issues are not great, so you can sell that to the left-back, that they'll be pushing Udogi for competition for minutes. Get a hungry player who's willing to grow, who's going to learn, who's able to come in immediately and impact the squad, especially with Udogi's fitness issues. I think not having Udogi all season has been massively detrimental to us, but we need a left-footed left-back there. A top club goes and signs a bona fide, brilliant left-back. Just go and sign a good left-back. Robertson fills up another Champions League spot, so that's clogging up that issue again. We're bloated, squad's already bloated. We're not going to have European football next season, so even less minutes to go around. This club just sign off opportunities. There's no preparation, there's no innovation, there's no creativity with the way they sign. They sign on who is available. I don't care if it's the January window. We saw Man City last January go out and sign Omar Marmoush, one of the best attackers in Europe at the time. Did they overpay for him? Probably. But did they get it done because they had to? Yes. They were, third, second? They had to go and get that done, and they did it because they were in their crisis mode. We are 14th. We are in crisis. This is where you go and overpay. You need to fix these specific squad issues to get us back and competing. We're not doing that. We're signing sideways players. Bentancur to Gallagher, sideways. Like, Gallagher's slightly better than Bentancur, not much better. Ben Davies to Robertson, slightly better, but declining rapidly. People have said to me, if we go and sign a left back now, it's going to block Sousa's pathway. But then don't sign Sousa. Sign someone who's guaranteed to impact the squad now. They don't have to be old. They don't have to be young. They can be of a good age, 24, 25 years old. Go and sign a good left back that is going to come in and compete with Udogi. Like, we can't forget how rich this club is. We're like one of the top 10 richest clubs in the world. And these are the signings they come up with when we're in absolute crisis. Filling short-term gaps with unnecessary pieces, which in turn bloats the squad, which in a season or 2 seasons' time, you're now going to have to move on. One is creating unnecessary work for you in the future. So we already have all these other situations we need to deal with. Fill this slot, fill that slot, sell that player. We're now creating these... We're pushing the can down the road. Kicking the can down the road. So we're going to have to deal with Robertson later on. We're going to have to deal with Gallagher situation later on because now we have 5 number 8s. This summer is going to be extremely difficult already. We don't need the added thing of signing players that are no longer going to be necessary if we want to get back to the top. I don't understand why we fill this squad up with these pieces that are never going to help us get to where we want to be. The last 2 points I want to cover is this mentality thing. Good leaders, good pros. You don't sign leaders to get back to the top. You sign good players. They are not... One, they don't have to come in 2 separate points. Like, you can be a good player and be good in the dressing room. 2, West Ham, for example, they've signed your Patrice Evras, your Zabalettas. Who else have they signed? They've signed those kind of players who have won it all, come to West Ham. Did that help them get to the top? No, because when your level isn't as good as what it used to be, just being a leader, being a mentality, that doesn't help. You need good players. If, let's say we had really good players around it and then you sign someone like that, maybe that could help for sure. You look at kind of what Henderson still gets brought to the England camp to do. They've got great players, so having someone like that in the dressing room can help. But we are too much in crisis to be signing these opportunistic leader type, mentality type signings. We need good players. We need to improve the level of the team, and this is not doing that. And the last point I want to say is people will say Spurs can't attract anyone now. They're 14th. They're struggling. Bournemouth just signed the best kid in Brazil, ripping up the Brazilian league. Real, we've been interested previously. That's Bournemouth. Spurs are in the Champions League. They're in London. They're the 10th richest team or something like that in the world. They can pay superbly high wages. They've played in Europe for pretty much the last 20 years. They're a huge club with a huge stadium, amazing training ground. Don't tell me Spurs can't attract players. The Premier League itself attracts players. You're seeing Sunderland sign Granit Xhaka. Sunderland, who just came up, signed Granit Xhaka. Don't tell me that Spurs can't attract players. We can 100% attract players if we pay the right wages and if we go for the right players. This transfer strategy is lazy, is uncreative. And again, like Robertson, he's gonna bring something. He can cross the ball. He's okay in general play, but this doesn't help us get back to the top. It's a sideways move that creates more work for us in the summer window or the window after that. It's blocking pathways of Sousa, who you've just signed. There's no point in signing him now because he's gonna go out on loan. Robertson might be done by that point, but even by that point, is Udogie going to be, is his fitness going to clear up? Where are we going to be at that point? Who knows? Just be ruthless. Go and sign good players to improve the team. That's what we should be doing, and we're not doing that. These are sideways moves. These are how you hang around mid-table. No innovation, no creativity. I think this board I've never even been a huge get the board out thing, but this is becoming my final straw. Like, there's the cluelessness of the way we're signing players and way we're squad building. Bear in mind, we haven't solved the issue of a technical midfielder, haven't solved the issue of we have two wingers at the club right now who are fit. I wasn't even that big on getting a winger in January until, Kudus went out for 3 months or whatever. These signings are not. I can't get behind this. I'm sorry, I can't. And people will try to spin it positively. And fine, one of these signings with other good pieces around it, I could probably stomach. Just these two signings sums up this transfer strategy of this team. It's opportunistic. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. And we are very, very close to becoming a West Ham because this is the kind of deal they do. They are so badly run, and we are touching on those levels. Our level of our squad is slowly declining, and we are causing more issues for ourselves by signing players that are not going to be helping us to build back to where we want to be. This season, last thing I want to say, this season is a write-off. Like, the season's done pretty much, I would say, in terms of what is there. I mean, Champions League, great, but, we're not going to win the Champions League. This is a chance to create or start to create what you want the next phase of Tottenham to be. You have this January window to start putting certain pieces in, not all of them. We're not going to solve every issue in January, maybe one or two, which we haven't done, to start solving or start creating the foundations of what you want the next phase of Tottenham to be. This is not doing that. You could allow these players to grow in a kind of free hit way in the next few months of the season, and get accustomed to being at Tottenham, while next season we have a run at our league campaign, no European football. You bed in some of these new players so they get this kind of 6 months or so, whatever it is, 4 months or so to get used to the league. And then by the time the next season starts, they're ready to go. They've had that kind of introduction to the league, to the club, to the city, etc., and then you're building on that foundation, and slowly we're getting back to the top. Every window counts now because we're catching up, we're playing catch up, and instead of trying to catch those teams, we're taking their scrubs, we're taking what they don't want anymore, and we're putting it in our team. And no matter what you say about Robertson, in 6 months' time, he's going to be a worse player than he is now, and that will just continue because he is declining, because as players do. I can't get behind this signing. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be purposely negative. I'm really not. I really hate being negative about my club, and people will know, if you follow me for a while, I'm not just negative for the sake of it. I promise you. Like, I really, really, really want Spurs to get good again. This is not how you do it. Like, it's just not. I can't fake and try and find the positives of this. I just can't. Hopefully, like, there's something to hang on to in the next last days of the window or something, but I just can't get behind this. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's my rant done. Sorry to be so negative on a Friday. Please do subscribe. Please do comment, like, share the video. I don't want to continue to make these negative videos, so please, Spurs, do something good that I can speak about. Thanks for watching. Come on, you Spurs.